We got it. We nailed it. It's correct. This is not just so. This is the fun part of this is not. So I appreciate you bearing with us as we grind through this nerdy stuff. Because to me, the funnest. Wow, who am I? The best part of Street Fighter is sometimes not what's actually happening. It's not the big combos. That's exciting, but it's what's happening, what's not happening, as often as what is happening, and sort of representing things and threatening. And we'll go from here.
Because Guile builds meters so quickly for his sonic booms that he'll have an EX before you do. So I would say actually the Guile wins these wars.
And I think that's exactly right, which is a first, and there we're seeing exactly this. Lamerboy drawing blood there with the back. So I just want to ask here briefly, we should maybe have started with this. What's the overall strategy in this match? What is his approach to this match? First, just from a character perspective. Michael, please.
ガエルのソニックブームがもうなんていう地上ではほぼなんていう無敵の技だからでかといって、前に飛んじゃってもその対空で落とされちゃう。だから竜としては体力取ろうと思ったらまずは波動拳でそのガエルのソニックよりもその回転がいいことを利用してソニックのなんていうのソニック打てなくなる状況まで持っていってそこから近づいて竜の距離で戦うっていうのが基本なんだけど、やっぱ大きなこういう大会だから、波動拳ってやっぱりすごいリスクのある飛ばれたらコンボ食らっちゃうしそれをすごく怖がりながらもでもこうやって戦わなきゃいけないんだと言い聞かせながらやってるのは覚えてますねこれは。
He said basically since Guile's Sonic Boom is an extremely safe move, he wants to basically close the gap as much as he can and work with Ryu's normals.
And yeah, it seems like he wants to get into the Ryu range, which is like the range where he has options like lower Hanos and stuff like that. And so in order to do that, he's going to throw a lot of fireballs and. Specifically against Guile, of course, if you ever jump in at Guile, you're going to eat a flash kick. So he wants to throw fireballs until he sees a good situation that Guile doesn't have a charge, and then use that short opportunity to close the distance.
And did he happen to know anything about Lamerboy in advance of this match? Because one of the other things I've seen Daigo do is even against opponents that he's never met before and never seen before, he makes reads on them within probably about 8 or 10 seconds of the match beginning. Sometimes as soon as the first move, he'll make his read on you as being basically like aggressive, defensive, kind of crazy, just bad, whatever it might be. So I wanted to see if he had made a read, because I feel like Lamerboy's style is pretty solid and he's not really representing anything too clearly. He's not really showing his cards, but I wanted to see if Daigo had picked up anything early in the match that made him think, this is the way this guy's going to play, and I'm going to adjust my strategy because of this style.
まずこの大会は全部そうなんですけど、初めてやる相手だとどういう動きをしてくるかわからない。で大抵の場合こっちが様子見してると相手の方が甘い行動というか
わかる。
甘い行動を取ってきてくれて勝つことができるんだけど、この彼は何の情報もなくてどんなプレイヤーか分かんないからかなり慎重にいろんなこれやってきたらここで返す、これやってきたらこれ返すっていろいろ用意してたんだけど全然それに引っかからなくて、でそれで慎重にやってるんだけど相手も慎重でなかなかうまくいかなくて苦しい思いしたっていうのはすごくよく覚えてます。
So he sort of wanted to play it safe in the beginning. He had no prior knowledge of Lamerboy or what his style was going to be. He had never seen any videos or anything like that. So.
Except for the name Lamerboy, which kind of tells you I'm going to sit there and do not a lot. Anyway.
Sure. So he didn't really know what Lamerboy was going to play like. So he wanted to play a style such that his opponent would show him what he was going to do. So, another part of the strategy of throwing fireballs and seeing how Guile reacts is he's able to, like slowly download his opponent in the first few seconds of the match. But you know, he also mentioned that Lamer Boy was another player that was very safe, and you know, he kind of didn't show a lot of his cards, so that's part of what made it difficult.
And that's a strong move by Lamer Boy, but again, Daigo's strategy, hold back, let Lamer Boy try and show what he's about, and as we see at the end of this match, Lamer Boy does in fact show what he's about in a questionable way, and we'll see how that plays out in the rest of the match as we roll on here.
And the EX boom, Daigo trying to get inside and getting sent back out by Lamer Boy, and we've also seen Lamer Boy fearless and competing at the highest levels. So you got to like his odds. This is not going to be a thrill ride of a match. It's going to be a bit of a grind, but again, very high tension, and the crowd really feeling it here.
All right, here's something that's coming up here that I like, and now we're getting in beyond the nerd zone. So everyone knows Street Fighter and, you know, big combos and flashy ultras. Sometimes what I like best is nothing. When nothing happens, that's an exciting time for me, because you can see the mental gears on each player grinding, and that there may not be any great options in this situation for certain players. So sometimes the ability to just do nothing at certain junctures is actually really incredibly powerful. So let's watch Daigo do nothing.
For Lamer Boy, they went crazy at the beginning and now touched.
There it is. Talk about nerdy. That was so right there. Let's see that nothing again. So he just walks up and he wants to be close.
The crowd really feeling it here for Lamer Boy.
So here comes.
They went crazy at the beginning.
Nothing. Nothing.
Touch silence.
Walks forward. Nothing.
Lamer Boy
just blocks again. So to me, this is. I'd just be interested to hear what Daigo's thinking. To me, it looks like there's just no great options for Ryu from exactly that range. So why is he just blocking? Maybe this would be the most boring of possible answers, but I get excited when two players are doing nothing against one another. He's trying to remember. He's like, it was just a nothing. Well, who cares?
なかなかその相手が思うように動いてこないからちょっと困り始めてて、でそれでも何か技を振らなきゃいけないはずなんだけど体力がもうなくなってきてるから、ここでそのむやみに技を振って全然こっちが読めてない相手の行動を何してくるか分かんない段階でむやみにボタンを押して体力が減っちゃうと逆転するのがもう厳しい体力になってきてるから、それでとりあえずもう何もいい考えが浮かんでない状態だったから様子見していい状況になるのを待ってたんだと思います。これは
Basically, because his life was already down to below 50%, he didn't want to. If he got hit in that situation, it would have made the round even more difficult for him to come back and win. And so, since he didn't really have a good option in that moment, his best option was to do nothing.
There it is. And this will be also a hallmark of in previous talks with Daigo about this kind of thing. Extreme awareness of his life bar, his relative life bar to the other guy, the timer, exactly how much meter he has, down to the split second, watching this one more move will give me enough meter to do focus cancel, whatever it might be. He's watching all these things very, very closely and knows what each change in meter, what each change in life, and what each change in the clock all relatively together mean as a complete package. So these are also things to keep your eyes on. But let's watch as this closes out.
Big progress here against Daigo.
Daigo's not the kind of player who's going to get intimidated by taking damage. He's using his life meter as like currency.
So there he jumped. This is one of the first jumps in the match. But Guile could have theoretically been charged for a sonic boom. So this is a bit of a gamble. I'm wondering what made him read that gamble. To me, it could have just been a straight gamble. It could also be what I call an announcement kind of strategy where it says, look, I haven't been jumping at you, so you've been free to throw a lot of sonic booms without being afraid. But hey, I'm the kind of player who might actually jump at you, so I need to put that in the back of your mind, and now you have to be thinking about the fact that I might jump at you. So maybe it's that, maybe it's something completely else, but let's get his opinion. Yeah.
Could you show it again?
Yeah. Let's see.
Here against Daigo.
Daigo's not the kind of player who's going to get intimidated by taking damage. He's using his life meter as like currency to push lane.
そのちょっと前にその今飛ぶ直前 にガエルがその EX ゲージを使ったソニックを打ってるんですよね。であれを使われちゃうと竜せっかく近づいたのに簡単に追い返されちゃうからでこうガエルが画面端に来たからそのまた EX のソニックでとりあえず追い返すっていう行動を取るんじゃないかなと思ってサマーが溜まってるのは分かってたんだけどまあ勝負をかけにて飛びましたね。まあ、サマーで返されなかったからすごくラッキーだったけど、まあそういう理由ですね。
He felt the result of his decision was a little bit lucky because he knew that Guile was charging a flash kick in that situation. But the reason he did it in that situation is before he threw the EX fireball, before Ryu threw the EX fireball, or was it Guile or
Guile's the
Okay, yeah, that's right. So Guile threw the EX Sonic Boom first. So when that happened, Ryu got pushed away, and he had Guile in the corner, and he didn't want Guile to open that space up any more than he already had. So, he threw the EX Fireball, and then he went ahead and took a risk because he thought that Guile was going to do yet another EX Sonic Boom to push him away even further, and, again, make it even more so in his advantage. So he took a risk, and he was happy with the result. He got lucky, but he did that so that he could keep him in the corner, knowing that he had the flash kick.
And people talk about Street Fighter as chess. I think it's got actually at least as much in common with poker as it does with chess. So we talk about gambles. This was literally a gamble for him, but it was a calculated gamble again. So there's gambles, and then there's stupid gambles. The same as many of us will be doing over the course of this weekend. There's smart gamblers and stupid gamblers. Daigo's a smart gambler because he wasn't just risking a jump in. He's also trying to preserve that space and control that space.
One more thing Daigo mentions is that he wants to make sure that everyone understands that an EX Sonic Boom after he throws it actually has more recovery than a regular Sonic Boom. So that's the other reason.
Yeah, a little less time to charge that flash kick after the EX Sonic Boom. Do you guys all know that? You all know that. Okay, now you know. The more you know.